Hello again, my friends, my internet friends. Today is Sunday, January 5th, 2025. I think I'm going to call this video, How Come Nobody Stood Up? And I mean that in the past tense, too. The reason I say that is we're about 2 weeks away from the next presidential inauguration, and according to Peter Hotez, we're that many days away from the next serious emergency outbreak. So much like Anthony Fauci did before the first Trump inauguration, Peter Hotez has come out and said publicly that we're going to have this thing we need to deal with. And Laura Wynn's back again, out in the news again, doing interviews talking about this next pandemic, scandemic that's coming out. And I guess they've settled on the H5N1 bird flu or whatever it is that they've chosen this time around. And again, they're sitting on a stockpile of vaccines just like they were the first time around, so it's all planned. On January 1st of this year, we lost another family member to a very rapid, aggressive form of cancer. This is 9 deaths since 2021 for me of close family and relatives, and a lot of people have been injured. Bell's palsy. It's insanity. And here we are going headlong into this again, which is why I said, how come nobody stood up? How come none of the men who constantly going around looking for a pat on the back twice a year and, wanting to be, a good attaboy all the time for a job well done, where the hell are all these men? Where are all the men who swore an oath to the Constitution to protect it against all enemies, foreign and domestic? I don't know where they are, but I don't see any proof of existence. If they exist, I don't see it. It's hidden from me because nobody stood up, and which is why we are about to do round 2 of this COVID bullshit. So, if you have a small business or anything, do you think your small business is going to survive through the next shutdown? Probably not. A lot didn't make it through the first, and that's kind of the point. It doesn't have anything to do with public wellness or safety or anything. There isn't a damn thing that the news or the government came out and said about COVID the first time around that they were right about. They weren't right about rate of infection, how lethal it is. None of that stuff was correct. In the 6-foot distancing thing, Redfield or whatever his name was, that was the head of the CDC at the time, came out and said, we just came up with that number. It was just something we thought we could make work. My local school district around here reduced it to 3 foot. Based on what? It wasn't based on science. None of it was. And so, if torturing old folks and retirement homes and children in schools wasn't the line, where is the line? If, making people have their last moments over FaceTime because there's some stupid rule about they can't be together for their last moment on Earth, how fucking horrible is that? If that isn't the line, where the fuck is the line? And I haven't seen it. Apparently, it just keeps backing up, so I don't know where all these men are that, looking for a pat on the back and an attaboy all the time for a job well done. Obviously, he didn't do a very good job because here we are, Last pandemic that we had, Gretchen Whitmer said, well, there's nothing I can do because I'm going by whatever the health board says. And the health board says, oh, well, we're going by whatever the CDC says. And the CD says, well, we're going by whatever the WHO says. So essentially, Tedros Ghebreyesus was in charge of my state during COVID, not Gretchen Whitmer or anybody we ever elected. So for you morons that are out there waiting for an election to happen or waiting for somebody to get in office for things to change, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You don't know the first thing about how our government works. honestly, for all you veterans and service people and all those people out there, what are you waiting on? What are we waiting for? I mean, their crimes are like a matter of public record. Nobody acts. Nobody does anything. And, here we are about to go through this shit again. A lot of dead family members. I know there's probably a lot of people out there just like me that have a handful of people that have died recently from an aggressive form of cancer or some other multiple organ failure and all this other shit. It's ridiculous. And we're going to do it again because nobody stood up. I thought the Patriot Act was the worst thing, back in 2001 or 2002, whenever that passed. I thought, how could anybody who's patriotic stand for this? As Benjamin Franklin said, those who would give up their freedoms or liberties for security deserve neither. However that goes, go ahead and look it up and quote me on that. But I don't know what else I got to say on that. I'm just kind of pissed because it really looks like we're going through Scandemic 2 and World War III on top of that. So we're going to send the best and brightest of America to go die for Israel. Who runs our country? I don't know, but they certainly don't care for Americans, and they want to get rid of a lot of us. We need to get organized, stand up, and do something. I don't know, but waiting around for a savior is not it's not going to do it, dude. We got to do it. Quit looking for somebody else, seriously. One man can't only do so much alone. We need to get organized, before they lead us down this path, because from the stupid ass, the 2 false flags that they just did with the Trump Tower, Tesla, and the supposed, people getting run down in New Orleans or whatever, it's all a bunch of shit. It's more fucking, order out of chaos, Freemason bullshit. And we need to put an end to it. We need to get organized. We need to fucking take these guys out. Seriously. I don't mean kill them, but we need to remove them from power. But we got to do something. Have a good day.